but Parks Bonifay is going to win the Wakeboarding Magazine all-around throwdown award for that trick, even though he lost the handle.
Last year, the 99 Masters. Take a look at this double up by Parks Bonifay.
That was the giant half-cab double back roll, and then, just for fun, Parks goes over the ramp and does
a standard 6-foot jump, but about 2 feet longer. There's a concave in the center of the surface, and they've opened the ramp slightly to the skier to make it safer, so they hit the middle rather than the right-hand corner. The boat speed has been increased to 43 miles per hour from 35 miles per hour. The tow rope is longer by 20 feet, now 95 feet. The diameter of the line is much thinner, which minimizes the wind resistance.
It is without question the most exciting thing to come along in ski jumping. And actually, this is Freddie Krueger from yesterday taking a little practice in ski flying, and he took a few moments off the water to give us his version of the difference between traditional jumping and this hot new sport of ski flying.
We're jumping the opposite direction, and we're having to do an old style with the whip style. We actually don't have a countercut like we do in 6-foot. We're actually just getting whipped right out into our turn. And at 35 mile an hour, when you take that whip, it's fast. And at 43 and 45, your ears are peeled back, you know? So it's caught us all a little off guard, but we had a couple practice sets with it, and we're kind of throwing darts to see what happens. But if somebody gets dialed in and locked, we're going to see a big jump.
Freddie Krueger is suited and ready to go. Helmets on, 23 years old. He jumps on the Pro Tour, soon to graduate LSU, and he's ready to fly.
Tremendous amount of speed and incredible lift. He floats through the air.
Freddie Krueger's second effort, 239 feet. One more jump to go for him, and more to come from Bruce Neville, the man who invented ski flying, when we come back. The 39th Annual Masters has been sponsored by Nautiques, by Correct Craft, the world's #1 choice, and by Rolex, the watch of champions the world over. Welcome back, everyone. On the water, ski flying. Speed is bumped up, ramps a little lower and longer, and Scotty Ellis out of Laurel, Missouri, next to hit it.
Huge opening jump for Scott Ellis. Scott is one of the inventors of the ski flying.
246 feet on the second effort. One more to go for Ellis, but what a launch and what a ride down the lake.
Incredible speed into the bottom of the ramp with that boat going 43 miles per hour. Scott just gets a huge lift off the top and a huge jump for one of the inventors of ski flying.
That is just 1 foot shy of the record in ski flying. Bruce Neville holds that at 247 feet. Ellis, third and final attempt. Can he add a foot and a half? Oh, not gonna happen. Slides out to the side, and you hear the power of that 400+ horsepower Nautique yanking him over the ramp.
So Scott coming into the bottom of the ramp again, lots of speed, but actually got there a little bit early. Let up on his pull, the boat got the best of him, and he slipped out. That could have been treacherous at those speeds, but Scotty pulled him back under.
Here's the young Aussie a lot of people are talking about in the professional jump tour, young Curtis Shears. Very thick, powerful man.
Curtis seemed to come out of the woodwork just a few years ago, and he is always in the thick of things, and what an outstanding flight.
Great kick off the top of the ramp. Fans appreciate the good effort. Third and final try, 241 feet. Looked a little bigger than it actually was. Guy with a big jump already on the board, 246. Scotty Ellis making his way into the dock, while the guy who set the course record for ski flying here at the Masters, Bruce Neville, takes to the water, 247. We talked about that earlier. Just a foot out from Scotty Ellis's jump today.
And let's not forget, Doug, that the jump record off the 6-foot ramp is 222 feet, the world record. So we're at now 25 feet ahead of that, establishing new ground for water ski jumping.
Neville, 222. Jump #1, you see, was so far the best at 243. Anytime a guy lands standing up, you know it wasn't that far.
Bruce builds a ton of speed into the bottom of the ramp, but little lift. He knows this jump isn't going to do it. Waves to the crowd.
When they can wave, they're not going very far. Third and final attempt for Neville, 247 the day before this.
Bruce slips out on jump #3. This is not the day for Bruce Neville.
Yeah, the guy who helped invent this sport, a 190 on the third, so on the day, 243 the best. Scotty Ellis with 246, the ski flying champion, here at the 98 Masters Water Ski Tournament at Callaway Gardens, Georgia. For Neville, a huge disappointment as he makes his way back to the dock. Final results for you, Ellis Neville in second, even with the 2:43. Curtis Shears, the young Aussie, coming in third. Kruger and Livingston round out the top 5. Joel is standing by with our winner.
Scott, you've made history here at the 39th Masters. You're the first ever Masters.
He did everything we talked about. He brought it down the lake. He came screaming into the ramp and still managed to get full leg extension at the top, creating all this float time. Little headwind under the skis. He's just riding that and floating down there. And when he landed, he knew that he'd been in the air longer and could feel the speed.
It'll be interesting to see what the official results are, both hang time and speed, as you pointed out so well. That is so critical. There it is, 71.2 miles an hour, 3.28 on the hang time, and it results in a 283, and that is good enough for Freddy Krueger to be named the 42nd annual Masters Ski Fly Champion.
And Dan, that's his third consecutive win here at Callaway.
Oh, it's just a great way to wrap up the competition here as the best in the world came and soared across Robin Lake, but none better than Freddy Krueger.
Seeing world record holder Jarrett Llewellyn in action, who 2 weeks ago at the Craft Big Air Challenge came within 1 foot of that elusive 300-foot mark. And if the preliminaries are any indication, we may see that 300-foot mark go down here at the Masters.
Here's how they stand after the preliminary round with Llewellyn in the lead, followed by Krueger. Let's go back now and look at the longest flight from that preliminary qualifying round. Jarrett Llewellyn leaping an impressive 285 feet while Mom Chris looks on rather nervously.
Jarrett really did his thing up off the ramp, right over top of the skis. Great looking flight.
A couple weeks ago, we're in the 90s, and that's just every weekend we're learning a little bit more. We're pushing each other a little bit more, and definitely it's there.
He's got the 247, the 181. What does he need to do here, Joel?
Bruce is known for his power and carries a ton of speed into the ramp, but slips out. Does not get the distance he's looking for that time.
And it's interesting that Bruce is one of the innovators of the ski flying event. He was one of the guys who said, let's go farther.
Just a bit of slip with the skis, lost a lot of height because of it. Not the jump he was looking for.
And you can see from the event last year, he's 25 years old, still considers himself a young man in this event. Watch him develop his cut into the base of the ramp. A lot of edge right into the base, and look at this lift. There it is, he's over 3 seconds.
Dave, this was a phenomenal jump. As you said, big lift off the top, and then he got a second lift that carried him way up there, giving that extra float at 3.30 on the hang time clock.
Now on this next attempt, the second of 3, trying to add more distance. Another beautiful lift. He is so consistent off the top of the ramp. Again, 3.14 seconds, riding out a tough landing.
Dave, even more speed on this jump for Freddie as he comes into the bottom of the jump. And again, that huge lift off the top, right up over the skis, creating even more float, much like the snow ski jumpers. Bit of trouble on the landing, mind you, but Freddie is the survivor, and he's back on top of the skis, and he'll get credit for that 289-foot jump.
And you can hear the crowd reacting because we know that OJ Propeller has put up a bonus for the longest jump of the day with speed management and lift management. That's the challenge for Jarrett Llewellyn. He has quick legs. He's very explosive off the top. Look at this. It's a great start. He's way down the lake, but the float time a little short, Joel.
Yes, and Dave, if you looked at the speed, 76.3 miles per hour, but didn't get the float because he didn't get up off the jump as we saw Freddie earlier. So he'll be ready to build on that one. Jarrett did have the top score coming into the finals.
As soon as you come into the bottom, and try to, it's like a tug of war, and try to snap right off that hip.
Freddie watching carefully here at 70 miles an hour. Jarrett Llewellyn kicks one more. Is it far enough? Over 3 seconds of float time. That's a good sign. Another pretty picture, Joel.
Look at the water as it comes off the skis, but Jarrett's coming back to the water a little too quickly. He's not looking happy. A much lower trajectory in that one, lots of speed. But let's look at the distance.
281, there it is.